I'm ready for the next episode.
And so is the broadcast.
Absolute perfection.
Indeed. Welcome back, guys.
Yeah.
Part 14
Yeah.
of Devil on G-String. Oh my god. I have been waiting for this since I had to go eat dinner yesterday. Doesn't sound like that long, but it felt like an eternity with how busy work was today.
Oh yeah, it was just like, as much as we weren't planning to stream the day after, we just couldn't help ourselves.
We both, we're kind of like, I need to see more of this. So here we are. Hey,
We
Dreamer,
returned.
what's up, mate?
Hello. Have you catched up on some of the earlier streams, even though you probably don't have enough time in the day
Oh yeah,
to
there's
get
definitely more than 24 hours worth of stream that leads up to this point with, now 13 prior episodes. Each one several hours long at least.
Part 14. Here we go. I haven't watched any of the earlier streams. God damn.
Mm-hmm. I will just say it starts out a lot more mundane than it is now.
Yeah.
Because
like,
after last episode, now, I've gone from Kanon's kind of this airhead that does figure skating to I am invested. I need to see how she performs. I need to see everything with this girl.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
We kind of looked down on the routes between Tsubaki and then we just fell in love with what it was. And if Kanon's like this, just imagine Shiratori. Fuck, imagine Usami's route.
Oh my god, yes. Oh. I think after this one, I'll be curious to see Shiratori's, but I'm excited for Usami's route when we get that far.
That's
not going to be for a while yet, though. There's a lot more to get through before we even can entertain that idea.
But
It'll be a lot more.
That's where this entire story is leading up to, is Usami's route. God damn. Let's do this.
Yes. Alright. The server has been notified. Oh, and I guess might be able to catch up a bit over Christmas break. Sounds like a good idea if you want to know what's going on, in the live episodes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess. While I send
can
out
see
links here,
yeah.
can talk about something not necessarily relevant to this game, but it might be a little more relevant to more of my audience, since I know a decent number of you that normally tune into the streams are here for primarily the DDLC content. The World of Dreams server, the World of Dreams server, if you didn't know, got nuked earlier today. And what I mean by that, I sent it to you and my mod team, but the World of Dreams server, which is one of the biggest mods for that game right now, it got nuked. Basically, a hacker managed to gain access to one of the head moderator's accounts, and they were able to nuke just about everything from the server. They deleted basically every channel except for announcements, rules, roles, and the member counts and whatnot. But yeah, basically everything else was just wiped.
Ooh,
I only realized it happened, right as I was getting ready to punch in for work today, because I was getting notifications because I was getting notifications for like the general chat channel, which I've had muted for fucking ages.
I don't know, like, you only really do that kind of stuff if you have a reason to do so. Like, I think in one of the screenshots that I was sent, like the dude asking, "Oh, why did you like do this, or why'd you hack it?" It's just like,
He basically just said, you know, because I could, because he had access to that mod's account.
yeah,
He basically just did it because he could.
yeah. But it's like, it depends, like, if he's just unaffiliated with the DDMC and just got access to a random account and nuked the
He definitely
server
was
he had.
that type of person, because he literally had just joined the server today.
Yeah.
You know, I saw in
So-
one of the screenshots, he joined the server the same day he nuked it.
Mm. Yeah.
So yeah, it
Makes me
was just...
It makes me glad that we have like the countermeasures in place for
yeah,
this
like...
server.
Yeah, like, if
Mm.
any of y'all watching this that are part of the server, you know, wonder why we have the security measures we do, this is why. Because of idiots like this.
Yeah.
That just
We
have nothing
like-
better to do than to nuke servers like this.
Yeah, recently we had a gang of misfits from another YouTuber's community try to like attack us, and we realized how good the server was designed for the fact that they pretty much could not get past our initial firewall.
Well, yeah,
They
because, I
could
mean,
not-
it's like you have the introduction screen, it's read-only, and it's like you just have the welcome message, and it's like you can't do anything until... you
you
actually
have
are
access
like are
to-
vetted through and are allowed in. Because it's like,
Hmm.
you know, if
You
you're
can only
just
see the
there to cause
rules.
problems, then you are not going to get very far. You're not going to be able to
Yeah,
do much
but-
other than react to our welcome message.
And you can only see the rules and introductions. I'm pretty sure that's how I designed it.
Oh, yeah, definitely is.
And like, I thought it'd be convenient to have that in place. So it's like, look, you're not coming in unless, like, as much as it comes, like, as a joke, like, it means, like, you, like, just please wait so you're not some asshole out to just fuck with us. And we instantly know, like, we know the kind of traffic that we usually get from the streams. And, like, you kind of get that kind of crap. Yeah, there
Yeah, I
isn't
haven't
many
seen any server with a system like yours. Yeah, Caleb's
Yeah.
really, really good with this kind of stuff.
Well, I've made a couple of servers in my time, but this one was unique. But it was
Mm-hmm.
like, it was inspired from my general experience in running community servers in the DDLC community. And
Yeah.
in my experience, about 30% of them are trolls. People that will just go in, fuck around, and like, I've had like moderators like go rogue on me and like just fucking go nuts and screw things up. So I've learned of systems to be put in place to like allow, like, you know, just to have a countermeasure for all that in place. So, and I've always thought about how do I stop like an influx of members, and then I just thought reduce them, like anyone that joins, because anyone that defaultly joins a server, unless they get an auto roll, is defaultly set to no rolls. So, like, I just thought if I could like reduce things to just 2 chat rooms that you can't access, that means someone that's just joining to fuck with the server and a group of people, like a server raid,
Yep.
he basically just fucking does not do anything unless we let them in. So, and we pretty much got a server raid, and yeah, it just fucking bounced off. Like, of course, the React role to content chats, like, it's it's not new. It's something a lot of servers do a lot better. A lot of servers do it a lot better than what I've done. I just made it clean and like clear. Like, yeah, here's content reaction roles, here's flare, like just for colors, and then just for server pings.
Yep, it's
And,
a really
yeah.
tightly designed server, and I can't
Yeah,
thank you enough for all of the work that you put into it to make it as tight as it is.
Yeah, and that one thing is, yeah, I designed the server that it never needed really to be maintenance or like problems, because we don't really get problems in the server, and problems that we do have are easily managed. We have a consistent rule system, we have a consistent reason to like what we do, like when someone's being a bit of a prick, and then we just, because I'm not sure, like only long timers know of the KFC man.
Oh yeah, that
Yeah.
was something else, man. Let me tell you, the fucking KF console guy. Oh my god, he was
Yeah.
a special boy. Let's just say.
Yeah, he basically just started. He got shitty because, like, he misinterpreted, like, as a joke that Ben made once, and he basically just went fucking nuts, like spam DMing him and me, and I'm just like, yeah, fuck off, block. And
yeah,
this was after we designed the server, so I just went like, yeah, go mass ping the like, go, like, ping us, time out for an hour. Okay. He does it again. All right, see you tomorrow. And then, yeah, just, okay, ban. You're gone. Goodbye.
Because clearly you have nothing of value to say anymore. You just
Yeah.
want to keep bothering me over this. And he was persistent. Like, he went out of his way to make alternate accounts to bug me on stream about this. It's like, you do realize it's a losing effort, man. It takes you how much time to make a new account? And it takes me basically the flick of a wrist to prevent you from being able to say anything in chat. Like,
yeah, and
it's a losing effort. So please, if you're going to be like that, just stop it.
Yeah, and our moderation, like, we have an administration, like, section that only us moderators can see. And even the head moderator and Ben have a special chat dedicated for themselves. So
you're
like,
playing more Omori Cyrilkins? Nice. I'm either going to get back to that tomorrow or start up Sonic Frontiers. I'm not sure what I'll be more in the mood to do tomorrow. I kind of wanted to start Frontiers over the weekend, but I didn't really get a chance to do that, so we'll see what ends up happening.
Yeah, there's a chat that like that shows us like specialized data for new people that join, so it shows us like how old their account is. And yeah, basically, yeah, so we can see just like, oh yeah, this new account, okay. Yeah, like we discuss like, okay, should we let this fucker in? Nope, goodbye. And then
yeah, like, basically, like if it's a brand new account that's like clearly made as like an alt, somebody's alternate, like their burner account, they're just like, how about no, goodbye.
Yeah, Zach sends them to the Shadow Realm, as we call it.
Yes,
but yeah,
because that's his job.
Like, yeah, I used to have the role as head moderator, but I gave it to the technically creator of this server. So,
because Zach originally, he made the server like on his own time for me. Like, I'm very grateful I have such dedicated viewers who will go out of their way to do such a thing, because it's something I had been saying I'd been working on and off on, but what I had been stuck on was implementing bots, because I didn't really know much about that. And I had looked up some things, but I just, with work and everything else that I want to do, I just did not have the time to sit down and really learn it. So I was very appreciative when Zach just dropped into my DMs one day and said, "Hey, I made a server for you," and I'm like, "What?" The funny thing was, I was just about to ask him for help with that, like the day before. Like, I was like, he sent me it the day before I was going to ask him for help, and I'm like, wait, what do you mean you already made a server?
Well,
and then Caleb,
Well, it was like a couple of weeks.
spent
because,
a
like, yeah,
good
the server
while,
was-
showcasing the problems with the way Zach designed the server and let him overhaul it.
Yeah,
Which is
'cause,
how
like,
the
I
server
just-
is now, basically.
Yeah,
It was an effort between, Zach originally making it and then, Caleb overhauling it to make it more organized and
Yeah.
tight.
Yeah,
So,
at the most, like, it was a bit of a mess, and it was just like, you gotta, like, have this, like, there wasn't an NSFW section, and I think I even made a big deal about the degenerates in the community. Because I think at one point people were just posting NSFW content in, like, the pictures chat, and there were, like, 3 chat rooms dedicated to Monica alone, and it's like,
that
you
sounds
don't
about
need-
right, yeah.
You don't
It's
need
like-
3 of them, please. Oh, hi, Mike. But yeah, so I just went like, okay, separate these into sections, make them optional, and
Mhm.
yeah, because
Yeah,
The good
basically we
thing
made
I
it so that,
like-
people can see what they want to see depending on what they're there for, on my channel for.
yeah, so I like that bit because like, if you don't have the role selected, like if you don't even see DDLC content, which is primarily what like Ben's content mainly is for now, at least. He's got a Mori, like, and a lot of things he's expanded. But yeah,
Yeah,
My-
I've
my
slowly been working on injecting more variety into the things that I play.
yeah.
There's
I
still
wanted
always
that-
going to be like the main stuff that I've been playing for years and years now, but I want to
But-
inject more variety into it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
It's
But
something
that
I've been.
variety shows in the server, and like heck, there's even Call of Duty content, Sonic and visual novel
Uh-huh.
and DDLC and NSFW. If you want to see it, you can see it. And of course, because server pings suck, we have a reaction roll for server pings.
Yep. That way we're not spamming the at everyone roll
Yeah.
to get everyone's attention for stuff they might not even care about.
Yep, but that's a server pretty well designed. I I wonder why a lot of people haven't thought about it before. Like,
Yep, it's probably because they just think because it's a smaller, tight knit community, they don't need to go like as crazy with server security as you'd think some bigger servers would have. And I have
Yeah.
to say, like, having tighter security, it's kind of a double-edged sword because I think it makes the server a bit less accessible, having to wait to get in. But if you just leave it with low security, you're leaving yourself at risk for this kind of stuff, as World of Dreams found out today.
And as a result, our community server runs really well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we have good conversations in here. I think I even talked about like DXD and how fucking Rainier is such a great antagonist. But yeah, we have fun. And that's essentially what we want to be in a server. We don't want to
That's the one thing I hate about every YouTuber server, the constant at everyone pings. Yeah, trust me, when I used the at everyone ping the other day as a joke, I got chewed the fuck out for it.
Yeah.
As this man here will tell you.
Oh yeah.
He and Zach did not let me live that one down.
Well, Zach,
Because I did it more. Yep. Oh
it.
yeah. Zach gave me a
And
ton
I
of
did
shit for
too.
it. I did it more or less just as a laugh.
Yeah, I guess
Because I knew exactly what I was doing when I did it. I'm just like, you know what? Fuck it.
yeah.
Let's have a little
Like-
fun. But I don't,
especially-
ever do that on a. I don't do that on
Yeah.
any sort of regular basis. I never
Yeah,
will.
despite Zach taking over my position, he has a couple of mishaps there and there, but he does a pretty good job more or less.
Yep,
I think he,
nobody's perfect.
Yeah,
I think that sums it up best. Zach is an ass, but we still love him. That sounds about
Yeah.
right, mate. That sounds about right.
I just remember one time that the boys in the moderator chat were waiting and expecting a server raid. They were all,
Oh
just,
yeah, it's
fucking
we were just
walking.
sitting there in anticipation, and at the end we were like, "That's it." Is that all you have?
Yeah, like
It was like they didn't even try.
Yeah, they like said a couple of things in the stream and then just like did one
it's like
attempt
they
at a
said a
server
couple of
raid
things
and
on the
just-
stream. They realized they couldn't get into the server, so they just kind of gave up. Because it's like,
Yeah,
shit,
'cause-
this actually, it takes more effort than it's worth.
Yeah, like Jesus. But yeah, we were like waiting for them.
Yeah.
Like I think there's like screenshots in the chat of like the gifs that were like being used, like we're going to war.
Yep. And then they reached our defenses, and it's like, fuck this. Because it wasn't as easy as every other server they've probably done this to.
Yeah, sorry that like our defenses are equivalent to the walls of Troy.
I think the comparison they made, it's like fucking trying to get into fucking Fort Knox. So yeah, like I basically just went live and said, I'm right here. Bring it on.
Yeah, it's equivalent of like making a giant fucking wall over a Minecraft village.
Yep, and saying, come on, try to get in. I'm right here.
Yeah,
Nah, you're not getting in here.
yeah, but
Anyway.
the server runs well. It's
Yeah.
not a mess and it's clean, which is good. And I
Yep,
get to
just
be
the way I like it.
I get to be the ex-head moderator that tells off people when they do the wrong thing. I like my position at the moment. Anyway, I think we're more or less, it's time for us to get...
Yep, I've sent out all my
Oh.
links. We've just kind of been sitting here chatting. As much as I would love to
Yep.
just sit here and talk to you guys all night, that's not what we're here to do. We are here
We're here.
for you, Kanon. I need to
It's
see
time.
more. I need to see the free skates. I've been waiting for this since yesterday. You're the grumpy old man yelling at kids on the slide. Alright, let's do this. I'm back. For an athlete, you sure do walk slow. It's been almost an hour since the tournament ended for the day. I talked a bit with Coach, made some performance touch-ups, and had to do an interview. That's why I'm late. She had a blank look on her face as she threw her bags on the sofa. Nissan, what are you doing? You smell like fish. I'm cooking, and yes, it is fish. I must have a truly impoverished nature. I bought 10 sori from the supermarket just because they were on sale. Hey, man.
Reminds me of like that one
Hey.
arc in like the full selection arc in Food Wars.
Oh, yeah?
Fucking Food Wars is mad. Anyway, continue.
What I was gonna say is that, hey, man, nothing wrong with taking advantage of a good sale. Nothing wrong with taking advantage of a good sale, man. Even if you have, the money to burn. Nothing wrong with that. Non-Chan already ate. That's alright. We'll eat it tomorrow then. As for the rest, I'll give it to Tsubaki. She lives close by, after all. Uh-huh.
We can't forget Tsubaki exists.
Mm-hmm. I made some coffee while talking to Kanon, who was lazily stretched out on the sofa. Today was amazing. What was? You were! Doy! What else? My performance? Really? She zoned out for a little bit. I kind of feel like she has this mindset where she knew it wasn't even her best performance, but she still totally killed it.
Yeah.
And she's just like, I can do better. And, everyone just looks at her
she
like,
said
what?
there's always tomorrow.
Exactly. That's the only thing she said.
Yeah, fuck.
Mm-hmm. You took first place effortlessly. There were a full 20 points between you and that Russian in second place. Really? Not bad, I guess. She doesn't seem to have any interest in her opponents. What are your thoughts on today, then? Yes! I can't be satisfied with just this, so I'll keep working hard. It's just a line you memorized for the camera. It's what I really think. The NHK trophy might attract foreign skaters, but they aren't the strongest in the world. What? It was a piece of cake for you because you were only up against small fries? I didn't go in with that thought, but that's pretty much how it turned out. Because she said it so innocently, it didn't even sound offensive. Nan-chan wants to be #1 in the world. This is what I was thinking about to myself at work. That's exactly the mentality that she has. I fucking knew it. I knew you had that drive. Because you don't care about anything else. You just want... Your life is all about being the best in the world at what you do. Right. And that resonates with me. Because I know on... Not quite the scale that she's at, but I know about that level of dedication. But that's a story I'll get into later, because I do have...
the plot's gonna go. Is she just gonna stumble, or is she gonna reach that apex and then
that is what I'm waiting to see.
What's my goal?
That is what has me invested right now in this character. I need to see how this plays out.
Let's do this.
Top, winner, #1, strongest, king. I love words like that. I understand. Then I pointed to the sofa cover that Kanon had wrinkled up when I wasn't paying attention. I understand. So fix that. Don't wanna. It's going to get wrinkled again anyhow. That's how I feel about my bed when I wake up in the morning.
Yes.
Then just don't wrinkle it up in the first place. Reflect on it and make sure that you don't do it again. Kings don't reflect on things. You're not a king yet. I can never win against you. She reluctantly straightened up the cover. Do you want to take a bath? The water's ready. You're so thoughtful. I knew it was the right choice to stay with you, Nissan. What do you mean? Surely Ikuko-san heated up the water for you, too. Yeah, definitely. She always thinks of me. Glimmer of loneliness shone in Kanon's eyes. Well, you know what they say. It's lonely at the top. But Coach only thinks about making Nan-chan #1 in the world. She never goes against me. Yeah, and when you start to get to that top level, that's something that's more important to have than you might think, because...
Yeah, I think that's what she appreciates.
If you get so good that, nobody is willing, to challenge or go against you and what you think, then that's when you start to fall off and make more mistakes. Because nobody's there to keep your ego in check.
Yeah, that's probably why they went to Kyosuke's place to begin with, because out of a lot of people, even Aichi, it's you doing this, and then Azai's just you fucking do the covers. I don't care, do it. Just do it.
Exactly.
That's the one thing, despite her status, Kyosuke views her no differently.
Yep, and that's the kind of thing that she wants. Hell. Yeah. And a lot of mods I play for DDLC that center around this girl in the corner. That's all that she wants. Someone to see her for who she really is, not for her status.
Yeah.
That kind of shit resonates with me.
Yeah,
she lowered her head and stared at the empty floor. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
Yeah, it's despite the fact that she has this drive and she's going to be #1, Kyosuke will just still tell her off about the most meager things.
Exactly. And most people wouldn't even dream of doing something like that in the presence of someone like her. Because they don't see her as the person that she is, because they don't really know her.
Imagine.
Yeah, that's a good quote, Dreamer. That's a good quote. Despite everything, it's still you.
Yeah. And to her loneliness, we have to remember Ikuko-san is her own mother.
Exactly. Which is what makes it all the more depressing.
Yeah.
That she feels this way. I remembered the thing that had bothered me and asked about it. Well, about your program for the free skate tomorrow. Doesn't really seem like it's your style. So, why? For an instant, Kanon pursed her lips in hesitation. I don't know. I think Coach asked Mr. Hilton for it, but I don't know why. I didn't ask Kanon, who still called Ikuko-san Coach, anything else. Alright, let's sleep together! I'm not sleeping. I was about to say, that came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Nan-chan can't sleep without hugging something. News to me. Seemed like you've slept just fine every other night. Why this all of a sudden?
Let's see.
Don't act so bratty. You know we shouldn't be doing stuff like that. It's fine. No one's watching.
Oh
that doesn't make it any better. You know that, right? What?
Oh.
For Christ's sake, what am I supposed to do with this girl? The shadow floating behind her smile is bugging me a bit. Well, I guess it wouldn't hurt to stay by her side until she falls asleep.
She's not gonna fall asleep. It's just gonna be like hugs, grab.
Yes.
Hug me more. Cuddles.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Onyx throws pillow. Hug this thing. Okay.
Boys, what do we do? Hold on.
I was about to say, you need to get that guide ready for getting to Kanon's route here to see if this choice matters or not. Yeah, but historically we've always asked you guys what we do in these moments.
Alright, but this time, like... Alright, the choice in the good ending is I'll go ahead and lie down.
I kind of figured that was the case.
Yeah.
So, is that what we want to do?
I reckon so. If we want, we're doing Kanon's route, so...
If we're doing Kanon's route, I feel like we have to.
Yeah. Let's do this.
Okay. Dreamer says sure. Alright, let's do it.
Let's do it, boys.
Fine, I get it. But I'm nocturnal, so I'll be reading on the bed. Thanks! I'll fall asleep in 5 seconds, and I'll get a stopwatch ready. Bet.
Let's fucking do this.
Hurry up and take your bath. Yes, sir! She saluted and went to the changing room with light steps. Jeez. I sat on the chair in the study and stretched lazily. Kanon should be able to win easily tomorrow. Keyword should be. So there will be another victim. Thinking about that made me depressed. Even so, I don't really have any methods at my disposal to do anything about it. I don't... Hell,
no.
I'm getting dizzy again. Oh, not this effect. Again. Yep. I saw that.
I didn't...
It's probably because of Akimoto's big mouth. Damn it.
Oh, I'm scared.
I feel like these dizzy spells and these headaches are getting worse.
Yep.
Even so. Oh, hello again.
Oh, he's back.
This is outside of my calculations. To think that Yusumi had already come into contact with Mephistopheles. Why did Yusumi appear at that dock tonight? Yusumi is in contact with the Zai Gunzo, so she should have a list of possible victims. People who are affiliated with Kanon, be it through school, skating, blood relation. Even if the list was filtered through, there should have been more than 10 people. From that, to correctly pinpoint that German ballet dancer as the target. Michael Jugmund does indeed live near the Western District's port. Maybe Yusumi and the rest were watching his house and discovered Mephistopheles acting suspiciously on the boardwalk. Why? Is it a coincidence? Extremely good luck? Perhaps? We won't know until we hear from Yusumi's perspective on this. If we ever will.
Rima, we introduce Azai Kyosuke's other half.
Otherwise known
Mao.
as the titular Mao.
Yep.
If it wasn't, then I have to admit that I underestimated Yusumi. I let loose a sardonic laugh. I don't get it. Along with the sound of the shower starting, a person's voice came from the bathroom. There's no towel, it said. What a cheeky woman. I'll prepare one right away. I look forward to tomorrow. Well, if you want to look up this game's soundtrack, this track's called The Devil.
Yeah. Well, it has another name, but
That's how the game refers to it anyway. I'm just referring to it how the game refers to it, because all the tracks, when they start, are displayed in the top right-hand corner. So if you want to rewind a bit, you can find the name of any track when it starts up there.
This is one of the tracks that play when Mao is in, like, focus. Like, this definitely has, like, a lot of, like, themes to it. It, of course, has a classical musical theme, but, like, it is just... Like, the OST in this entire game's fucking fantastic.
I look forward to tomorrow. I'll have Yusumi show me her skills, so I can see just how good she really is. Ooh, boy.
Another game of cat and mouse.
Yes. That first one was probably nothing compared to what this next one's gonna be.
Yeah. Chapter 3, let's do this.
Nissan, you look sleepy. Nissan, sorry.
Yeah.
And yet you're always full of energy. That's the difference between nocturnal people and morning people right here. The next morning, I walked Kanon to the building entrance. After a while, a high-class foreign car drove up and approached the curb. Oh, it's been a while since we've seen you.
Who voices this? You or me?
I'm pulling up who does what. I think I have Ikuko.
Okay.
Alright. I do not remember what voice I gave Ikuko-san here, so,
Write it down on the U anyway, just in case.
Alright. Good morning, Kyosuke-kun. Ikuko-san slowly emerged from the left-hand driver's seat. Good morning. Nice car. You think so? It's already 2 models old. Only 2 models? That's still pretty damn new to me. I mean, shit, I'm driving a 2015. I'm driving a 2015 model car, and that thing is new as fuck to me.
Especially how fast they pump out new model cars.
Oh, I know. It's ridiculous. Even so, I'm sure she could afford to buy 3 family cars. Bye-bye, Nissan. I'm leaving. Kanon ducked into the back seat with enthusiasm. Nobody sat in the passenger seat. I'm very sorry. I planned to call you about it, but I got caught up in work. Hey, it's okay. She was talking about Kanon. Did she say anything? No, nothing in particular. She didn't talk about me behind my back? A strange smile she developed over the years surfaced. I couldn't distinguish between her sincerity and sarcasm. No, she just said she was going to do her best and set her sights on the World Championships. Never mind then. She put her hand against her sagging cheek suggestively. Speaking of the World Championships, she was an Olympic athlete in the past. Uh-huh. I recall, which is why she's Kanon's coach. No. Get out of here, bot. Kanon can be quite spoiled sometimes. I'm sure you already knew that. Isn't it rough? Like, gee, I wonder what gave it away that Kanon was kind of spoiled. Gee, Couldn't be her sometimes bratty behavior, could it?
We have no idea.
No, not at all. Still, you can't deny that it's cute, can you? I felt only unrest. Oblivious to the reason behind it, I knew only that I wouldn't be able to continue a conversation with this person. Can we leave already? Kanon popped her head out the window. She bore a very unamused look on her face. She's like, fuck this, let's go! Get to the competition already!
It is time to fly.
No, maybe it's just my imagination. She just rarely looks so expressionless. Call me if anything comes up. Ikuko-san nodded slightly before getting into the car. After a quiet ignition, the car drove off, followed by a black limo. In the limo behind Ikuko-san's car sat two huge muscle men. They're probably Gonzo's men, here to protect Ikuko-san. Most likely. However, what will happen when they get to the arena?
Here, meets Gonzo.
I'm waiting until we get to a scene with Gonzo. You have no idea about Gonzo. I'll just say that.
Yeah, he's terrifying.
Yes. Wait. What will happen when they enter the areas only official tournament personnel are allowed to enter? Even Yakuza would be thrown out of there. This opportunity may be the one Mao is intending to exploit. It's Gonzo. Speak of the devil. This is Kyosuke.
What happened to Usami?
I don't know. I haven't seen her since last time.
Bring her here right away.
Oh boy. Looks like you're gonna get that meeting sooner than we thought. The line cut right after he finished. All business as usual. What's this new development? Well, we already know, so you're in for a shock, Kyosuke. I rolled my eyes and clicked my tongue as I dialed Usami's number.
Usami here.
She picked up the phone after only one ring. Good to hear you're as disgusting as ever. What are you up to right now?
I'm in a French cafe, just ordered a cup of café.
I'll have to look that up later. Quit bluffing. Putting that in my own chat window, so I can remember it for later. Quit bluffing.
It's true, I'm even reading the newspaper. Kanon made it to the headlines.
Sounds about right. Usami wasn't in the arena yesterday.
They're calling her the Valkyrie of the Ice.
I love that title, man! Yes! I love that! Yes! Just yes.
Yes.
You should go see it in person at least once. It's incredibly intoxicating.
Excuse me for a second.
Suddenly I heard some sort of rustling noise. What? What are you doing? However, there was no response. If I listened carefully, I could hear the weak sound of country music in the background. She really was in a shop somewhere. Hello?
So what's the matter?
I decided to cut to the chase. Gonzo wants you. Come quickly.
Seriously?
She seemed to sink into deep consideration. You just got here. How's the insanity? Gonzo wants Usami. That's what's going on right now.
And today is the day of Kanon's performance.
The free skate, the second half of the performance, essentially.
Yes.
Or the second performance in the competition.
Let's do this. Understood. I'm on Central Boulevard right now.
I'll come to meet you then. I'll call you back when I'm almost there. After Usami agreed, I started walking. The day was especially warm. Yeah, you have those this time of year sometimes. Speaking of this time of year, apparently we're supposed to get a lot of snow this week. So we'll see what things look like outside tomorrow.
Well, I don't get snow at all.
I'm gonna have to take a look at the forecast, see just how many days it's expected to snow here this week. Because that's what people were saying at work today. Oh, is it because you've been having to do all kinds of expressions for your mod, Zach? Or just a really exhausting day? Because that was definitely me at work today with how much sales stuff we had to separate from the actual stock that had to go up. Oh my god, it was ridiculous today. And I think I talked about it in DMs a bit with you, Caleb, but yeah, it was fucking insane. I'm sure it's not Zach, but I'm just saying it anyway. For my own comparison's sake. I met Yusumi shortly after calling her out. What are you doing out here anyway?
What do you think? I'm tailing someone.
Tailing? Who?
I can't really say yet. He's suspicious, but if he's clean, then I'd just be causing trouble for him.
Suspicious how?
I met him yesterday. I still can't be sure that it's related to this case, though. Hard to say.
She glanced behind her. Save the details until we meet with Gonzo.
By any chance, am I going to be killed if I haven't made any progress?
It's possible. That reaction is to be expected.
Yes.
The music stopped.
What?
Yusumi's face suddenly tensed. Her eyes widened as she stared at something behind me. Do we dare turn around? What's wrong? Hello? I don't think we've met you. I don't think we've met you before. I turned my head around, and a tall woman stood behind me. By the color of your hair, are you perhaps related to Yusumi in some way?
Okay.
I'm pulling up my who does what document here.
Alright, well, do you want me to take this?
If they're related to Yusumi, I say go for it, because we both have 5 each right now.
Yeah.
So it really doesn't matter who gets who. Her lustrous coat was strangely vivid under the winter sun. It looks really nice, I will say that.
Well,
I like particularly around the. I always like coats that have a belt, around like the waistline. I really like that design. Last Sunday. A faint smile was plastered on her face as she looked at us. The woman slowly approached Yusumi and I. Her soft, straight black hair shone brilliantly under the sunlight. What the... I asked Yusumi behind me. Hey, Yusumi? She was entirely speechless. So either she knows this person, or she's just as dumbfounded as we are. Chat, place your bets now.
What's gonna happen?
Could the suspicious person Yusumi spoke of be... Finally, the woman spoke.
How's it been, Haru?
I take it she does know Yusumi, then. I turned back to Yusumi without thinking.
It's
Yuki!
There's our name. She broke into a dash. Oh no, here we go. Yusumi broke into a dash. She moved incredibly fast. So what sort of history do you two have? I was shocked by the scene, and she vanished into the crowd before I even noticed. Hey! Yuki? My eyes met with the woman named Yuki before I had grasped the situation. I love that smug look in your eyes, but please, for the love of God, who are you? As we confronted each other, I noticed that we were around the same height. She had long eyebrows and determined eyes. She had long arms and legs like Kanon. She wasn't at all like an ordinary Japanese person. I wonder if you are perhaps Kanon's rival. That black suitcase in her hands conjured images of an able businesswoman in my mind.
Good afternoon. I'm Tokide Yuki, and you are?
This woman, capable of unnerving even the stoic Yusumi, asked me in a peaceful tone. Kiyosuke. Hisai Kiyosuke. You would be?
FBI.
Oh, damn. Now, are you just pulling my leg, or are you dead serious about that? What? While I wondered, aghast, if she really was telling me the truth, her next question rushed in.
Do your horrors love them?
Don't freak me out like that. I'm just an acquaintance of hers. Tokita smiled and opened the suitcase.
This is how you can contact me.
She handed me a business card.
It's a horror that I still have my eyes set on her.
An evil glow sparkled in her eyes.
Goodbye. Let's meet again sometime.
Just in case anyone wants to grab that, I'll leave that up for a sec. Wow. What a fucking introduction.
Oh yeah.
She left after saying her piece. And then there was me, still puzzled and not a step away from where I was when she came in. Eyes set? An acquaintance of Yusumi's?
Asasa!
Oh, you're back! I love how nonchalantly he says that. Oh, you're back! She was gasping for air.
Did Yuki say anything?
Not really. Only that she has her eyes set on you. Who is that woman? She's incredibly beautiful. I like how that's the first thing he says about her.
Oh yeah.
Yusumi shook her head with no sign of stopping.
Never mind.
Really now? A friend of yours? You mean you've really had friends before? She's a friend of Yusumi's, then chances are that she's a weirdo.
Zach is just kind of like a intense, but it's usually played with Usami.
Oh yeah.
Like it was played in the penguin scene.
Oh yes, the penguin scene was fucking beautiful. Speaking of which, what does it mean when you say you have your eyes set on a friend?
The only things Yuki's eyes are on my sweater puppies.
Sweater puppies? Oh, that. I'd never noticed it before, but Yusumi's boobs were bigger than those of some pinup models. Yeah, it's just never really been emphasized before, and doesn't really need to, really. They kind of speak for themselves. Anyways, here's her contact info.
Did you tell me to call?
Are you that against it?
It's all Yuki's fault that my sweater puppies are like this now.
Really? Man, that's a story I'd love to hear sometime. I would love to know why, because she seems to resent that fact.
Yeah.
I think the theory that breasts grow when you rub them is merely an urban legend. I don't think that's the story made, but like I said, we'll gotta wait to hear that one maybe sometime later in this story. Well, then I guess I can just pretend that I lost it. I didn't feel like dealing with this anymore.
No, wait. Lies don't work on Yuki.
Huh?
God, this is turning out to be a nightmare.
I think this is the first time I've seen Yusumi panic into a sweat.
Well, that was something.
Here we go.
And here we go.
Even amongst those as odd as Yusumi, everyone shows reverence when in presence of Gonzo. The blabbering idiot from a moment ago was nowhere to be seen. The stern look on her face, Haru sat opposite Gonzo.
Red letter said someone will die tonight at 9. Do you have any leads? About that.
Speak clearly.
Very well. Please take a look at this.
She took the threat letter from last time out of her bag as she spoke. What am I looking at?
The envelope.
Yusumi flipped the empty envelope over and placed it on the desk. What about it? On top of it was what seemed to be a black pencil smudge. Interesting. Fingerprint, perhaps? Onyx says, I'm playing this horror VN called The Letter, and I've got to say I'm enjoying it. Might have to look that one up on VNDB later. See what it's about.
Oh yeah, I've seen this before. You're going, Jesus Christ, you're going for a long one. Oh, that
Sounds like he'll be playing it for a while then.
Oh, that's longer. That's longer than the Devil on G-string. All right. There was a scratch there that grabbed my attention. You thought it could be traces of words? Yes, forgive my impudence, but I adopted the ways of the police we usually see on TV. You should give that up now. You'll just end up destroying what little evidence we might have been there. Normally one would.
Something seemed to have come up in Gonzo's mind as his expression steepened.
Did you get anything? Mysterious word.
We all looked carefully. On the back of the envelope was the word North, and a certain distance away, the letters HTS.
It's North and HTS.
Very peculiar. What does that mean?
Now I may have placed a piece of paper on top of the envelope and written something on it.
What could he have written? Yusumi shook her head.
Gonzo-san, what do you think?
Gonzo narrowed his eyes slightly and answered.
The location of the last murder.
Why do you say that?
Northern Heights. It's the apartment complex in the Northern District where the dead designer lived.
HTS.
In North. Yeah, Northern Heights. Yep.
Checks out.
I came to the same conclusion. That gives me confidence. The next bit should be Saito. That's the designer's name.
So it's the murder target and his address. There seems to be more.
This one here.
The characters for Ko is in the word Kodomo. Child, right?
Yes, probably.
If you look carefully, it seems to be written right next to Saito. It looks like they're in the same column or something.
I see, you noticed it too. I believe this person must be the next target.
I immediately ran through the list of people associated with Kanon. A name containing that character for Ko. Noriko. Is it Miss Noriko? The female teacher that Aichi was once smitten with. Oh yes, I have not forgotten, mate.
Yes.
How could I forget that?
Or the retired skater Yoshida Kimiko, who was very close to Kanon.
According to our sources, she opened a cafe no more than 10 minutes away from the arena after she retired. Most of the customers were the skaters, so the shop was very lively.
Don't forget Ikuko.
Gonzo spoke blankly and without emotion, despite it being the name of his ex-lover. One of these three is going to be murdered.
Right. At least that's what Mal's threat claims.
If you intend to lend your ears and heed my warning, force her to throw the upcoming NHK trophy. Otherwise, a new sacrifice will be taken at 9 o'clock, the night of the last day. There's no doubt Kanon's going to win. If that happens, tonight at 9, Mal might already be preparing for the whole operation. Any other leads?
There's still this one.
Her finger pointed to the clearly visible prints of once written characters.
Oh, sorry, your turn.
The P's might be saying paper. Or wait, is there an LA population?
That's a B, not an L. It's the word bag, and this is paper. Paper bag.
Paper bag. What on earth does that mean?
It's disturbing that Gonzo is just listening.
Yeah.
Then there's a number beside the words paper bag.
5?
There's something in front of the 5. Is it another number? It looks to me like it is.
So what does it mean?
No clue. But in the current situation, we can assume it to be a seat number in the arena.
Very astute.
That was my first thought as well. Today is the ladies' free skate. The arena is going to get very hectic. It'll be a difficult task to protect Ikuku-san.
Definitely. If his target is Ikuko-san, this number might be where he's seated in the arena.
But it could be number 5 or number 25 or maybe number 56, and we wouldn't know.
There are also Latin letters ranging from A to K in front of the numbers. Yeah, exactly. That's how it is when you go to a sports arena. There's usually a number and letter associated to your seat, depending on where you are in the arena. If the deadline is 9 o'clock, would there be enough time to take a look at all the seats in the chaotic arena? Before I noticed, the sunlight shining into the room had become brighter. It's probably about 2 in the afternoon, so 7 hours.
Fuck, yeah, Jesus, they don't have much long, do they?
No, they don't have long at all. A voice came from outside.
Pardon the interruption. Rube.
The man entered the room with his head down.
Well, if it isn't the young master, it's been a while, hasn't it, son?
Horibe, the underboss, is the one calling me young master and son. He's the second most powerful member of the Sonoyama group, behind Gonzo. An abusive, sadistic glow always shone in his flat eyes.
I got the 13 men you wanted, boss. Good work. They're ready when you are.
Gonzo nodded as Horibe's report ended. Horibe bowed and left.
The men are assembled.
Well, this is Gonzo. He always has the matter neatly taken care of. He had already prepared a unit that could move freely.
Still, we'll probably only be able to get 10 men into the arena at most. Being able to get your hands on 10 tickets on the spot is already pretty impressive.
This is Gonzo, after all. He probably plans to make the scalpers cough them up. Oh, absolutely. Knowing him, that is exactly the kind of thing I would expect him to do. Because every sports arena I've gone to, when I've gone there to see a game, there's always scalpers just outside the arena selling tickets at incredibly inflated prices, looking to make a quick buck. Without fail. Can always count on that.
The rest of the men will guard the entrances to the arena. Pay particular attention to the staff entrances Ikuku uses. Usami and Kiyosaki, you two are to go search the seats together with the men inside.
Understood. Usami nodded quietly.
Tell me what Mao looks like from behind. Very well. Rather tall, like Azai-san. His hair wasn't in a style that would leave any impressions. I haven't seen his face clearly, but I remember that his bangs were quite long. As for clothes, of course I'm referring to his clothes when I saw him. A black coat you would find anywhere, and the type of suit that a normal office worker would wear. Went out of his way, did he?
You mean he went out of his way to blend in with the crowd? It's exactly the kind of calculating intellectual I would expect.
Yep. Fine. But if we focus only on chasing Mao, we might walk into a trap. You're absolutely right, because she made that mistake once.
Oh, yeah. There might be an accomplice.
Yes, Mao wrote the next target's name on it, presumably a piece of paper on top of the envelope. This may be a memo to himself.
Or perhaps you're saying it could be an instruction to an accomplice? In the threat letter Mao sent, he writes that he released the murderer called Mephistopheles into the wild.
No matter what.
Yusumi furrowed her brows again. Yusumi, speaking of which, who were you tailing today?
Ah, right, about that. What?
Yusumi cleared her throat and said,
The thing is, I saw a suspicious person yesterday.
When? Where?
The port in the Western District near the warehouses. It was already late at night. I saw him kneeling on the docks. He was facing the sea. He stared at the dark waters the whole time. I thought he was going to commit suicide. I called to him and it seemed to give him quite a shock.
He might have taken you for a ghost.
I'd say he was probably around 30. It looked like he hadn't shaved in a while.
Zach says, funny story, but Markiplier's fanbase broke OnlyFans.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, knowing his fan base and how big that is, it doesn't exactly surprise me. But tell me more about that one later. I'd love to know the details on that one. So, just what about him was suspicious?
There was a trail of blood leading from the sea to the man's feet.
Blood, huh?
He had nothing to say about the blood. However, there were signs that something which used to be on the ground was taken away. I investigated afterwards, and there was a clean spot in the middle of the trail of blood.
And that something was?
I'm not sure. It could have been a card. Should be a rectangular object. That's based, of course, on the shape of the clean spot it left.
But that doesn't necessarily mean the man took it, does it?
No. However, the thumb he used to hold the flashlight was painted a little red. It would be natural to assume that he picked up the blood-stained card. So this is the ID that Mao left behind for Mephistopheles.
Yes, basically the proof of the murder.
Yeah.
What precise observations?
Claimed to be out for a jog, but that was probably a lie too.
Absolutely was. And Dreamer, you have yourself a nice night, mate.
Thank you.
He says Mark released his OnlyFans to the public. All the earnings will go to charity. Oh, yeah, wow.
That's why he did it.
Crazy.
Like, he made a couple of requirements and to get his thing on top of iTunes or some shit, and the fan base did it in a day.
That's crazy.
Oh yeah. The thirst of his community is too much.
I know, it's crazy. I've never really followed, the biggest YouTubers on the platform like him. It's not really the kind of thing I'm interested in watching. But it's always crazy hearing about these kinds of stories.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll be right back. I'm just gonna go to the bathroom and get another drink.
Yeah, sounds good, man. Yeah. It was a handheld flashlight, right? Would anyone jog carrying something like that? So he really did that, huh? That is wild. He wanted his Distractable podcast #1 on Spotify and iTunes. Mark and Jacksepticeye are your childhood. Fair enough if they are. I have nothing against you if that's the kind of stuff you like. I mean, YouTube's a vast platform. You watch what you want to watch. Just those kinds of, I guess we can say, like, I guess top 50 subbed channels. Never really been into them. Like, I remember a few years ago when there was that, battle between PewDiePie and T-Series to be the first on the platform to hit 100 million. I know everybody wanted PewDiePie to win, but I think we can consider him the true winner because he's not botting subs, at least to my knowledge. Whereas everybody could tell T-Series was botting subs, and it's like, go fuck yourself if you're gonna do that. Like, do you really have such low self-esteem that you have to, inflate your quote-unquote popularity that much that you bought God knows how many subs on your channel? He even made a song about them winning. I'm pretty sure
T-Series ain't nothing but a bitch lasagna.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw that because yeah, man, it was such a big deal on the platform when that went down.
Hello, by the way, I'm back. If you guys didn't notice.
Yep, I see that.
I think something about happened that. I think something happened that night that he didn't want anyone else to know about.
Yeah. Gunzo, who had been silently watching our interchange, finally said,
Let me ask you something, Usami. Why were you there?
Good question. That's what we've been waiting to hear. Did she find a lead or something?
A ballet dancer on this list lived near there, right?
Michael Jugmund, I think. Did you go there to meet him?
Just in case, I went to pay him a visit, but there was nobody home. According to the information we have on our hands, this man should have returned to his home country 2 months ago.
Not to interrupt, but wouldn't that mean that the dancer is safe?
I hope that's the case.
Gunzo was still staring at Usami.
As for that suspicious man, I trailed him from last night to this morning. From what I'm hearing, this doesn't seem to be related to the threat letter. Yeah, I don't have any definitive proof or anything.
I tilted my head.
But when I said Jungman San's name, he seemed to show some interest.
Interest? I may not know of him, but isn't he a pretty famous dancer?
No. This man didn't even know Fujiwara Norika, so I don't think he'd know Mr. Jugmund.
Huh?
He asked me for my name, so I answered with the name of a celebrity I like.
You really have a way of getting things done.
Turned out he didn't react at all. At the time, I thought I had made a really bad gag and I wanted to die. But when I looked at his face, it seemed like he really didn't know of her.
Well, normally one would probably assume it to be a fake name.
Well, I guess you could say I'm grasping at straws here.
Did you find out the man's address?
No, he stayed at a bar on Central Boulevard and drank until morning. He showed no sign of going home.
I get it. If he can stay that long at the bar, then he must be a regular customer.
Yes, we can follow him any time now that we know about the bar. I understand. That man must have something to do with this incident. I'll send someone to tail him.
Well, that'll be all then. We've already finished saying what we need to do. Or say what we need to. I bowed to Gonzo and turned around, prepared to leave.
Doesn't matter if your cuckoo is killed.
Pardon? I looked back in surprise at Gonzo's emotionless words.
The most important thing is to catch the rat.
We're not the police. We don't place the safety of citizens as our first priority.
That woman is already a very unneeded existence to Kanon. If anything, she'll become a hindrance.
What a truly heartless man. Couldn't even imagine him having close relations with Ikuko-san in the past. Suddenly, I thought of my mother. It is the very Azai Gonzo before me that pushed my mother into the abyss of poverty. He's a demon. And as for me, the boy forced to serve the demon, I will drown in an indispersible despair. One day, with my own hands, Gonzo.
Azai-san, is something wrong?
No. Nothing. We
A
left
bit of
Gonzo's
him.
house.
It looks like a bit of mouse slipped through.
Perhaps, yeah.
When you think about it, this house's security is pretty tight.
As Yusumi pointed out, there are always groups of people patrolling the house. One stationed in the front, 3 in the garden, and each of them carrying a different weapon.
I should have guessed, though. A Yakuza boss is an irreplaceable person.
Uh-huh. That aside, I'm impressed by how much you found.
I just hope Gonzo-san didn't take me for a useless piece of junk.
You concentrated on the envelope rather than the letter. That already proves you're smart enough.
Perhaps, but I'd appreciate it if you stopped flattering me.
Not able to handle flattery too well, huh? I get that. She looked somehow displeased. It's almost time. Should we call a cab?
It'll be faster by subway.
We left swiftly for the subway station. What do you mean the vegan teacher, Zach? What are we going on about now? The music stopped.
Ah, yes, that's based off a manhwa.
Ooh. Complications.
This is interesting.
Yeah.
Is this kind of... So, son, is that girl over there your bitch?
Haribe asked me with a smile. It was already 3 in the afternoon. We met Haribe inside the arena. Me, Yusumi, Haribe, and 5 of his men were there. They didn't really look all that bad. Their builds and facial features were fairly typical. They could pass for average citizens to a quick glance.
Azai-san, I'm being called a bitch.
I see. Your mouth is as foul as ever, Haribe.
Oh, was I wrong? Sorry about that.
Haribe narrowed his thin eyes even more, awaiting my orders. Alright, let's split up. We need to search all seats that contain the number 5. No matter if it's a 35 or 52, search it. If you spot any suspicious people, call me right away, okay? Apparently she's done something bad again? Oh. You'll have to tell me more about that later. I don't keep up with this stuff. This is kind of how I hear about things like this, Zach, from people like you who are talking about it.
This guy Mao's a tall young man, correct?
Yes, but we might be dealing with a different agent this time.
Which means you want the guys to check out anyone in any seat that has the number 5.
The first thing to check would be that the name of the person and the name on the ticket match. The popularity of figure skating is very high, so tonight's tickets were sold out moments after they opened the box office. Mal's probably got his tickets through an internet auction or something like that.
All we gotta do is round up a couple of suspicious shits and ask them some questions about Mal or the letter. You know, the sort of questions that only our man would understand, then we see how they react.
Horibe might be a sinister man, but one can't hold on to the number 2 seat in Gonzo's organization without also bearing a cunning mind. This might take a while. Still, hope that everyone can lay low. Try not to cause any trouble.
We wouldn't want to disrupt little Miss Kanon's big event. Or maybe,
Yusumi spoke.
even if the seat's empty, could you still take a look? Check to see if anything suspicious is placed under the seat.
You mean like a paper bag? Yusumi shook her head.
Number 5 might not even have anything to do with the seat number.
But it's still a lot better than just letting this play through. And realistically, we can pretty much be sure that Ikuko-san is his target.
You've got a point. Well then, let's move.
Uribe shouted, and the men scattered. Need some water.
This is getting real.
Ugh, yes it is. The vegan teacher is just an old version of Natsuki. She never shuts the fuck up. I wish I could just shove a block of non-vegan cheese up her ass. Jesus Christ, Zach.
Like Mike said it earlier, Zach is an ass, but we all love him.
Exactly.
Yeah. Azai-san,
Huh?
you don't look so well. Are you okay?
Yeah, I was just up with Kanon until late last night. I can't even walk straight.
I see. Please don't push yourself too hard.
Yusumi left me with the words, "I'll call you when I find something," and vanished around the corner of the corridor. Yeah, the reason I sometimes don't walk straight is because I've got flat feet, so it's trickier than it looks. You certainly are the right person. Thank you very much for your cooperation. I bowed to the lady seated at F51. The arena is so huge, so it takes over 10 or 15 minutes just to get from one place to the next. Once the competition starts, we'll only be able to ask spectators between programs. Become even more time-consuming. We're pretending to be plainclothes security guards. If the real guards find out, there's going to be big trouble. And to top it all off, even in cases where the spectator and the ticket match, we can't let our guards down. I've already questioned 6 people, and any one of them might be Mao's accomplice. This is a very laborious task. What a congregation. Is this Mao?
Is this
Mephistopheles? Well, let's assume that it is and go forward from there.
Mephistopheles.
Yep, there we go.
Order and left seat C5. As he stood up, a yell suddenly came from the seat behind him. It was a fat, middle-aged woman.
Hey, Gaming with David. What's up, man? How are you doing tonight?
Yo. I have to try my best not to draw any attention.
Glad to hear you're having a good one, man. You're coming in right as things are starting to get good, in my opinion.
Mephistopheles bent down, lowered his head and walked toward the passage on the second floor. The audience was stunningly huge. And for what? Some meaningless prancing? To Mephistopheles, the only true sport was the national game of Japan, sumo.
Yes. That nationalism shines through, man. I'm having a pretty good night so far. It was a busy day at work today. Especially with all the sales stuff coming in for Christmas in a couple weeks. But I'm really having a good night here so far.
He had already sat through Mao's spiel explaining the draw of the figure skating. It's both sport and art. The history of figure skating could be traced back to ancient times. Mao had even told him about the oldest known pairs of ice skates in the world, a pair made from animal bones which are now preserved in the British Museum.
Really? I'd love to know more about that.
The entire discourse slipped from Mephistopheles' mind immediately thereafter, though.
That sounds about right for this man.
Yep. The only persistent information was about the athlete as Kanon.
Oh, you're going to boot camp, man. Wow. Mad
Ooh, nice.
mad respect, man. I know it might be a bit early, but thank you for your service. I wish you all the best at boot camp, man.
Put it simply, as Kanon was a source of income for a criminal organization. Mao had called her a lost cause. Mephistopheles felt the same way. Criminal groups' actions and ideals aren't ideals at all. These organizations are merely gangs trying to turn a profit.
Very astute observation, Mephistopheles, I must say. Can't say you're wrong.
They snatch money from the weak in order to make a living out of a life of crime.
Mm-hmm.
When an enterprise brings misfortune to someone, lobbyists and interest groups, not unlike Mephistopheles, drive their advertisement-riddled vans around the city, eventually stopping at the doorstep of said enterprise and blasting out some cacophony protest for their actions.
Thought I would mention that.
All good. As soon as the organization promises to support the interest group with capital, the harassment stopping continues somewhere else. Blech.
I guess I should ask David, what branch of the military are you looking to go into, if you don't mind me asking?
Mephistopheles' opinion, the existence of people who only value money yet armor themselves in false ideals has stained the concept of interest groups. Mao made his beliefs about his Kanon very clear. Once Kanon has disappeared, we will be one step closer to achieving social justice.
Is that right, buddy? Is that right?
Also, Kanon wasn't the sort of athlete that represented our nation.
Navy, huh? Cool. Very
Nice.
cool.
She even showed a contemptuous attitude toward the audience.
It's because that's not her focus.
Yeah, Mephistopheles could understand Mao's feelings. A friend's indignation would be his bare flare of rage. I fucked that up so horribly. And I'm not even drinking. So we followed
That's the funny
plan
part.
and strode down the aisle.
It was 8:45 in the evening. Kanon's free skate was about to start. The corridors were nearly deserted, as the spectators were all racked with anticipation in the arena. I rendezvoused with Yusumi. How's it coming?
Not well. It's no use at all. We're trying to find someone who doesn't quite fit, but no matter where I look, I'm the strangest person here.
Yeah, it's a little after past midnight for me here, 12:36.
It's about 5:36 p.m. I gotta stop around 6 or 7.
Alright, just let me know when you want to stop then,
yeah.
Caleb.
It depends when my partner wants to get here, really.
Okay, yep, sounds fair.
Alright, let's continue.
Just let me know.
Yep.
Yusumi finally recognized herself as a strange person. I bet he never thought it would happen, did he? There are too few clues. We've got nothing but the number 5, the words paper bag, and the ko in Ikuko-san. Yeah, he probably made very sure that the only clues they had were vague ones that could really mean anything. It's very particular attention to detail.
If you ask me, I'd say there are too many.
She mumbled to herself.
I nearly got caught by the guards just now. Since athletes from all around the world are here, security is exceptionally wary.
Makes sense. Might be about time to stop then.
I'm not very skilled when it comes to interrogation.
Yeah. That would be because it's hard enough as is just to have a conversation with you.
If only Yuki were here.
There's still 15 minutes before the deadline of 9 o'clock.
Right.
It was Horibe. An empty seat. A brown bag. Is it a paper bag?
Seriously?
It was a point that she herself made, but now she's standing there shocked. Understood. I'll head over right now. C5, right? Yep, Mephistopheles' seat.
Yep.
Oh boy. I get the feeling Mao picked that seat probably not for the reason they think.
Yeah.
He wanted to give them a view of what's about to happen, probably.
Oh no.
That's a horribly dark thought, but that's where my mind's going. He's literally just toying with them.
Yep.
The audience was in a stir. Kanon's performance had just ended. The free skate is only 4 minutes long. Yeah, there's a lot of this kind of cat and mouse kind of stuff between Mao, Yusumi, and the cast of characters here. If you haven't seen the rest of the series and you want to see more of this kind of stuff, you gotta catch up, man. It really is something else. Once this story gets going, like, oh man, it gets really good.
And like getting an introduction to everything and knowing like how it's like a massive chess game.
Yeah, very much so.
Like, and instead of like 2 players, there's like 6. It's like Jesus.
Yeah.
Like we got Kyosuke, we've got whatever Sami is, we've got Mao, we've got Gonzo, we've got the Shirato, like the Sano Corporation. Like there's all these variables in play tying into this massive game of cat and mouse. Yeah.
So if you like this kind of stuff, then I think you'll like getting caught up on the story here, because it's been very enjoyable so far. To the performer and the audience, it might be a long period of time, but it passed in the blink of an eye when Yusumi and I were rushing to meet Horibe.
Yeah. Wow, that's what we like to see. Kanon did beautifully.
As to be expected. Oh, shut up! You weren't even watching! Just like the spectators around us, Yusumi clapped excitedly. Judging by the audience's reaction, Kanon's victory is all but hers, as expected. I took a look at the screen that showed the points awarded. Oh, let's see.
If she won,
sure enough,
someone died.
Kanon had the lead. There's still one contestant who hasn't performed yet, but based on her performance yesterday, she has no chance of beating Kanon. Which means Mao should be making his move.
Over here, son.
I walked to Horibe's side and took a look at the seat. C5 was empty.
We haven't touched anything. We just kept an eye on it from a ways off. We thought the rat might return to his nest.
As we spoke, the last competitor began her performance. In the dead, silent arena, it was best to stop the chattering. The clock kept on ticking, but I was hesitant to just sit down and wait patiently. The moment the soothing classical music stopped, we started moving again. Comfortably drowned out by the loud applause, Yusumi dashed for the seat. She grabbed the bag under the seat and spoke immediately.
There's something in it. Let's open it.
Go away, you dumb bot.
Yeah, fuck off.
It was a small paper bag with a department store label on it. What if it's a bomb?
Yeah, normally I'd let the police handle this, but I doubt Horibe-san would take too kindly to that idea. But even if the bomb exploded right here, right now, and killed all the innocent people here, including me, it wouldn't affect Kanon's victory.
Pretty much. I suppose that's true. If somebody died, the tournament might cancel, but that wouldn't stop Kanon from moving on to the Olympics. Beyond that, the police our Mao seems to detest more than anything would start an investigation.
I'm opening it.
Oh boy. Moment of truth, people.
What is it?
Miss anything significant besides hearing of this potential bomb in the paper bag here? They've been searching the arena for hours for this Mephistopheles person.
And they found a paper bag with something in it under seat C5.
Yep,
So
the seat that Mephistopheles was occupying. So
let's do this.
we're about to find out. I nodded, and Yusumi tore apart the tape which sealed the paper bag. Another letter? The bag contained nothing but a single piece of paper, with the same texture as the threat letter. I stood beside Yusumi and read the words on the paper with her. Just like the letter Gonzo received, it was in horrible handwriting. To a dear comrade, you've already made sure of Azai Kanon's victory, correct? Here's your next task. The target is Kanesaki Ikuko. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. Leave the arena. Head to the staff entrance. Chaos should erupt when the fans start waiting for the skaters to come out. Indeed, it'd be so chaotic that if someone were to die, no one would be able to tell who did it. Be especially careful when you use the dagger. One would die as if sleeping with a mere slice of the fingertip. A red carpet was being rolled out onto the ice, and the award ceremony was about to begin.
Because the letter to Gonzo was to say, "Don't let it win," and yet Mephistopheles, like all this letter, said, "Assure she wins."
Let me go back to what it said.
Yeah, you've already made sure of Azai.
So what this tells me, if this is a letter from Mao to Mephistopheles, does Mephistopheles have some kind of, or someone, Mephistopheles notes, have some kind of influence on the other skaters?
Yeah.
To ensure a Kanon's victory.
This is just another piece in, like, the cat and mouse game. Like, he wrote this.
Yeah.
Or, like, Usami to find. Let's find out.
Because, the rest is just instructions for Mephistopheles.
Yeah. But we both know that Mao's plans are not always what they seem on the surface.
Very much so. Very much. Zach says, "I'm an ass, but you all love me." That compliment was more hard than the news of Cameron Boyce dying.
Fucking hell.
I wish I could say I knew who Cameron Boyce was, but unfortunately I don't. I don't keep up with hardly any celebrity type stuff, so forgive me for my ignorance, but my condolences nonetheless.
Google. Right,
Google? Yes, I know. By the way, you deserve to be chewed on like jerky for that everyone thing. You're not gonna let me live that down, are you? On the highest step of the winner's platform was Kanon. Concentrate on guarding the staff entrance. I stared at Haribe. The accomplice who accepted Mao's orders was right there, getting ready to kill Ikuko-san. Haribe kicked into gear. He called his men and gave immediate instructions. Hey, Yusumi, we should go too. Yusumi moved as well. However, she didn't climb the stairs of the seating section. Instead, she started talking with the person sitting behind C5.
Oh, really? A Kahaki coat? The man was around 30 years old, huh? Right, I remember because he suddenly just stood up in front of me. What time was it when he left? Around the time Seda Makuko's performance ended. About 10 minutes ago. Sometime around 8:40. He hadn't even warmed the seat yet, and then ran off to what a disturbance.
Yusumi's response was very quick. She had already discovered what the accomplice looks like. Something felt wrong. Hey, Yusumi, what's going on? Judging from the look on Yusumi's face, As she turned back, I noticed how grim the situation was.
This isn't right.
She spoke with an unchanging intonation.
It's too suspicious. This has been suspicious from the very beginning. Still, I could only investigate with the clues at hand. This has been like a game of chess I was destined to lose from the onset.
She mumbled as if talking to herself. A predetermined game of chess.
Yes, we need to abort this right now. Tell everyone to give up on fortifying the staff entrance. Please hurry.
Just like that? Why?
There's no way Mao would be so careless as to leave all those traces behind on the envelope. The paragraph itself was suspicious too. It hadn't been printed with the word professor.
With a word processor.
But it had been handwritten. That point itself is enough to raise a red flag, and the tone of the words was arrogant and bore a poor style.
Yep.
And then there's this paper bag. The person who made this mistake wasn't Mao, but the accomplice.
There's a mistake on the bag? I picked it up right away.
The tape here.
Ah, I finally understood.
To an intelligent criminal, it's basic habit to avoid strongly adhesive substances like tape, hair, fingerprints, and all that kinds of other evidence like clothing fibers can stick on tape, and you'd never even know. The real kicker though is this: how did the accomplice receive Mao's order without opening the bag?
True. The bag was sealed up until the moment Yusumi opened it.
Furthermore, once the accomplice has received Mao's orders, he would have taken the bag away. He wouldn't leave such an important clue behind for us.
Because it's an order to kill. Leaving such a piece of evidence at the scene is too suspicious to be true.
Also, according to the new information, the suspect was sitting in seat C5 around 8:40. Why? What's the reason behind the accomplice's appearance? As I proved just now, he wasn't here to receive Mao's orders.
Which means this entire thing was a waste of time, is what you're telling me, isn't it? Yeah, so they got played. They got played for fools.
Yes, the person who put the bag here wasn't Mao, but the accomplice. He intentionally left this evidence here to lure us into focusing on Akuku-san.
I nodded with approval and then looked at my watch. It was nearly 9:05.
Hurry, Azai-san. This is a trap. No escape.
No escape.
Ooh.
The first target marked to feel the wrath of Mephistopheles was a woman named Yoshida Kimiko. Though Kanisaki Ikuko was also an unforgivable woman, Yoshida was even worse.
Yoshida was a follower of a famous religious organization. I think this is Mephistopheles.
Okay, I'll let you take this then. Sorry.
Go. That organization exists as a parasite feeding off Japan's political circle and contributes to the nation's corruption. Of course, they're
atrocities.
That's it. Jesus, I'm horrible today. Never contribute to the nation's corruption. Of course, through their atrocities, they never make it to the public eye. The existence of their crimes is a very well-known fact. Long before accepting Mao's instructions, Mephistopheles had already planned out a way to punish Yoshida with an iron fist of justice. Yoshida manages a cafe near the skating arena. The time was drawing near. The method was simple. Mephistopheles wrapped his fingers tightly around the vial. Mao had taught him the procedure to create the toxin. He was simply to throw the vial into the shop, allowing the liquid to diffuse into the air and form a deadly mist.
Jesus, do I even want to know what this is?
Fucking nerve gas?
If
Not
that's
only
what
Yoshida,
I'm seeing.
But the customers too, birds of a feather, anyway, would all die. Perfect. In any case, Mao had really thought this through. He chose the moment right after the figure skating event. It had already been a pain just getting out of the arena. The arena would soon be filled with mobs of people who didn't even know the meaning of the word patriotism. If one slipped into the crowd and boarded the subway with the immediate vicinity of this arena, there would be no worry of being caught no matter what came to pass. Mephistopheles had followed Mao's orders and placed the paper bag below the seat. In a brown bag was a phony instruction from Mao.
Yep. Just like Usami deduced.
It served only to throw the police off by indicating to Kanosuke Ikuko as the target. He never made any contact with a single person in the arena. Well, the old lady behind him gave him a nasty glare when he stood up on his seat, but she wouldn't remember his face. After all, he had appeared as nothing more than an ordinary citizen.
Mm-hmm.
After a 10-minute walk, Mephistopheles arrived at the luxurious brick cafe. A cruel smile emerged on his face as he reached the front window of the roadside shop. Within the cramped yet tidy sitting area, a few boys and girls sat at the bar and chatted with the bartender. He saw her. Yoshida Kimiko. His target was the fan. It died. He raised the vial over his head. Hesitation isn't necessary when making a kill. This wouldn't be the first time anyway. Someone started to shout frantically. Surprising calls of "That's the guy" erupted behind him. "Hey, you, stop right there," they said. Mephistopheles looked back at their pointing fingers. Judging by their appearance, they seemed to be Yakuza. Their numbers multiplied. Curses came from all directions. Why? However, Mephistopheles was extremely calm. He put the vial back into his pocket and moved with the pedestrian traffic toward the subway station. His ticket had been bought beforehand. He moved slowly and orderly. He took the 9:05 train. It was stopped by the station right on time. Mephistopheles slowly boarded the subway car as planned. No, there had been a deviation from the plan. Yoshida was still alive. Why? How could this? You let him get away, you fucks!
By 9:30, the search for the accomplice had been called off.
We failed.
Usami was already gasping.
He probably escaped on the subway. I can only think that he had already checked the schedule.
Even so, you figured out that his real target was Yoshida-san. She shook her head in regret.
The accomplice left his seat around 8:40. If we say leaving the area takes 10 minutes, and there would still be another 10 minutes before the planned murder time of 9 o'clock. Under this assumption, the person in the most danger would be the one located 10 minutes away from the arena. Because the area traffic, he wouldn't take the cab to escape. The same goes for the bus. Missing the 8:45 train meant he'd have to wait for the one at 9:05. In other words, the accomplice moved on foot. The only place he could reach within 10 minutes walking distance from the arena would be Yoshida-san's cafe.
Though it was already past 9, Gonzo's troops' quick response was able to save her. They rushed to Yoshida Kimiko's cafe immediately and spotted a man in a khaki coat. Haribe spoke with a very depressed look.
Sorry about all this, son. We were too careless.
No, you've all given it your best. I'll report that to Father.
Excuse me, but may I ask who spotted the man? I've got a few questions. Understood. Hey, you dumb fuck.
He gave me my due respect, but his attitude towards his subordinates was a completely different beast. Usami started talking to one of Haribe's dumb fucks. After a while, the conversation ended.
Well, we still have to go back and report, so we're out for now.
I returned to Bao and watched them
feeling
leave.
that this isn't over yet.
Oh, definitely not. Especially now that they've, interrupted the quote-unquote perfect scheme here.
What a pity.
What is it?
I asked the guy about our suspect, but apparently it all happened too quickly. All he could tell me was that when he saw the man in the Kikuki, The man was in a stance suggesting he was going to throw something into the cafe. He didn't see his face clearly. He placed his age about 30, and he said he was skinny.
Yusumi sighed. If that's all we have, then this isn't going to be easy. Anyone could wear a khaki coat.
What a pity.
So we're back to square one then?
No, Josh,
Yusumi shook her head.
there should still be clues. The music stopped.
Yep. That's all there.
What the hell are you guys calling me out like this for? What time do you think it is right now?
This is random.
I'm really very sorry. I was just about to watch the figure skating broadcast I recorded.
I think you'll enjoy it.
I just thought it would be more fun if we all watched it together.
Speaking of which, Aichi, weren't you there at the arena today? Do you always record the show, even when you see it live?
Dude, duh, bro, of course. I want to listen to the analysis I used on the radio at the different... Oh, fucking hell. I need to do that again.
Okay.
I want to listen to the analysis. I used a radio at the arena to hear an analysis there, but the TV analysts are different guys.
Mm-hmm. That is something I very much miss having whenever I get to go to a game live, the very rare chance that I do. Part of why I usually only go, once every few years, because I miss that, analysis that you get from these, the commentators.
Yeah.
Because that's a big part of why I watch. I love what they have to say, what they have to talk about, and all the statistics and stuff that they bring up about, the players or the teams or just whatever.
Yeah. All right, let's continue.
You don't get that experience at the arena. It's just, the raw action of the game.
Yeah.
Cameras might have caught the accomplice's face. Could still be useful.
Yes.
That was the argument Yusumi had made for calling Aichi to see if he'd recorded the program. C5 was, in fact, right next to the ice. Yep. From there, one can concentrate on the competition without worrying about the person's head in front of him. Thus, there's a relatively high chance that his face was caught on camera.
Yeah, this is a DVD I recorded.
I took the disc from Aichi and put it in the DVD player. The three of us glued our faces to the screen. The DVD started after a moment.
So good. Fucking hell.
The body of a woman who looked like a porn star occupied the whole screen, shaking violently. Aichi, are you sure? Are you sure you brought the right DVD over? Hey.
Sorry, this is today's one-shot gag.
But surprisingly, Yusumi lowered her head in embarrassment.
Yeah, this one's a real one.
Are you sure about that? This better not be another joke. Aichi swapped out the DVD and pressed play again. Looks like the real thing, alright. An aerial shot of the irritatingly crowded skating arena displayed on the screen.
Sorry, partner messaged me. She's eating at hers, so I got a bit more time.
Okay.
Well, let me have the honor of doing the explanation, and let's watch from the beginning. I want to start watching from 8:30. Don't you know the final group of contestants start around that time? You want to start with the main course? Well, more like 8:45. Let's have a Seda Makiko's performance. What, are you a Seda fan? Sure.
We'll go with that.
Well, I can see your point. Seda did pretty well tonight. Still, how should I put this? Her performance was too safe. I mean, she didn't make any mistakes, but...
Basically, what you're saying is she didn't take any risks with her performance.
Yeah.
She didn't particularly do anything that would make her stand out, which goes into what I was saying earlier
Yeah.
about, Mephistopheles or somebody he was involved with had some kind of influence on the fans. Or not the fans,
Yeah.
but, the performance of, some of these skaters.
Yeah.
But I suppose that kind of goes out the window when you take into consideration that was the phony letter.
Yeah, sure, let's continue.
So that might not be relevant at all.
Yep.
While Aichi was blabbering on, I took the opportunity to jump directly to Seida's free skate program with the remote control. Seida really was cute. Compared to Kanon, who looks almost like a foreigner, she was shorter and had a rounder face. She looked like some adorable character created for advertisements when she smiled.
There's another double. You'll never see it beat Kanon if you don't practice up a triple Little Miss Seda.
I suddenly found Aichi lying on his stomach on the floor. He looked like a middle-aged man watching baseball.
Ooh, Asami sees something.
Yusumi silently concentrated on the screen. How many cameras did they use? The multi-angle shots were making me dizzy. I remember seeing the cameras hanging by steel wires turning busily over the audience at the arena. Uh-huh. They have those same kind of cameras at football games here in America. And yeah, they fly around everywhere.
Stop!
I pressed the pause button without a second thought. It was right before she stepped into her axle jump. Behind Seida, behind the ringside advertisement, sat the man we were looking for.
Wait, why the heck are you stopping?
You wouldn't understand. Shut up, old man!
What?
Yusumi spoke quietly.
The Kahaki code. It's this person right here.
Play it a little bit further. The man lowered his head and stretched his hands under the seat. Started to stand up, but then the camera angle switched again. By the time the camera angle switched back, the seat was already empty. Want to zoom in and have a look?
If we can.
I don't know how to do it. Let me look it up on the internet.
I know how.
Wait, seriously? Have at it then.
There's no way I'm teaching you. I'm not going to teach a person who calls me an old man.
Fine. If you help me get this done, I'll assist you with your patch-up plan with Miss Noriko.
I'll help too.
Something tells me by that face she doesn't want to, but she's gonna do it anyway.
Yeah.
Just to play a part of the
Damn, what's
plan.
got into you two? Alright, if you insist, then I can't say no.
Good. I didn't want to let them into my study, so I brought a laptop to the living room. Opening the tools as Aichi instructed, we were finally able to modify the screen. The accomplice of Mao. The face of the man in the khaki coat slowly became clear.
You've got to be kidding me.
She muttered with a steep look. You recognize him? No way. Surely you don't mean he's the man Yusumi met late last night at the harbor.
None other. We need to hurry. Huh? Where are you guys going?
To a bar on Central Boulevard. For a drink.
Don't you know that I don't drink alcohol?
What a pity. I guess our figure skating appreciation gathering ends here.
Though I'm not sure what you guys are up to, I'll be counting on you when it comes to Miss Noriko, okay? Leave it to me, I'll help you come up with an evil plan.
Dashed out of the room. That's great. Can't wait to see that. A piercingly cold wind dominated the streets.
Zai-san, what about your car?
Right.
Is something wrong?
I staggered, letting a nearby street lamp bear my weight for a moment. I think I caught the flu.
You okay? Your health has been really bad lately.
I'm fine. I took my cell phone out.
Who are you calling?
Gonzo, calling for more men. We can't let him escape again.
I understand. You shouldn't be driving in this condition. Go home and get some rest. I'll just take the cab there.
Alright. Sorry about this. I'll catch up later. Just give me the address.
No.
Oh no. My skull felt like it was splitting in two.
Now then.
Yeah. Go. Yusumi ignored the bitter cold and dashed away. It never has seemed to bother her, has it? Yusumi's putting forth quite the effort. Now, I suggest you stay away from that bar. Mal's voice told him this through the receiver.
Mephistopheles bunched his shoulders in the cold wind and fled Central Boulevard. You're right, as Kanon really does deal with criminal groups.
Yes. They've been keeping an eye on the arena for the shadows.
It wasn't difficult to lose them. Still, I don't know how they knew it was me.
For a short silence, Mal said, One possibility
is
that you unwittingly did something that grabbed someone's attention. Like, say, leaving your seat in the middle of a performance.
Wait, did you say leaving my seat in the middle of a performance? Mephistopheles nearly tripped in the middle of the road. Is this poor etiquette?
Mao suddenly clammed up. Through this reaction, Mephistopheles understood.
I'm very sorry. I did just that, and the woman behind me started cursing at me.
You were in a hurry, after all. It's my fault for not taking that into account.
No, you gave me the correct orders. No one was supposed to be able to tell when I put the paper bag down. I had to choose a time when the contestants were practicing and the audience was taking a rest. I had to make it look like a murder instruction drop that you left behind for me. Mephistopheles grabbed his head and lamented on his carelessness. The first step toward revolution had failed due to a trivial mistake. Mao must have been similarly upset.
Really, I'm very sorry. Mao.
Mao's words shocked him speechless.
I've put you in danger.
There was a tugging sensation at Mephistopheles' chest. I'm gonna have to, sadly, I'm gonna have to call it here.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry man, but, duty calls.
I know, man, I know. It's kind of a random place to leave off, but this is where we'll pick up next time.
Yep.
Whew. Quite
That
the
was
interesting
good,
note
though.
to leave off on. And I'm going to be wondering until next time, is this just a genuine mistake on Mao's part, or if this was all part of the plan all along? To, intentionally, give him, a slight, leave a slight lapse in judgment in his instructions so that, he would screw up and put himself in danger.
I have a theory
so that he can, conveniently get out of the, so that he can conveniently be taken out of the way when he's not needed anymore, basically.
Think,
so, what's your theory? What's your theory?
I reckon that this was all a ploy. They've set their, basically, Mao's set, Usami on Mephistopheles, and this whole Mephistopheles thing is basically a distraction.
Yeah, a diversion to, take attention away from him.
Yeah, and, hide what's really going on beneath the surface.
Yeah. Something that he's concocting that's much bigger than this whole deal with Mephistopheles and Kanon.
Yeah.
I'm definitely buying into that. I'm following that, so we'll see if that turns out to be true later on.
Yep. Anyway, guys, we will catch you next time.
So yeah, that's all for tonight's session on Devil on G-String. 14 episodes in. Wow. But yeah,
This has been a fun ride.
it has, and I can't wait to pick this up again another time. But with that, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, take care.
Take care.